Okay, then I would like to introduce our speaker, Brittany Woodrum, who is in the process of doing an incredible fundraiser for ShelterBox. So Brittany?
Yeah, thank you so much, Wes, and thank you everyone for having me this morning. Can you guys all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Thumbs up, nods. Okay, great. I'm a teacher right now as well, and it's almost overwhelming to see so many faces because my students have long since turned off their cameras. So it's really nice to see everyone here and so engaged. And again, thank you so much for coming this morning. So as Wes said, I am currently embarking on quite a monumental or mountainous fundraiser for ShelterBox. And I know I don't think I have to explain ShelterBox to you all. You guys have been long supporters of ShelterBox. I believe there have even been a couple of tents at the infamous Ducky Derby, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes, that's
Okay,
right.
great. So, however, what you might not realize is what ShelterBox has been doing since COVID-19, and the very important work that it's doing to ensure that individuals are able to stay safe during the pandemic. So while we here in the US, I think you mentioned it, Wes, we are kind of moving to some semblance of normalcy, and we've had huge successes, I feel like, over the past month and within our nation. Pandemics like COVID-19 do hit the most vulnerable the hardest. And there are countries around the world, especially where ShelterBox works, where people don't have the tools to keep themselves safe. They don't have things like soap or hand basins. They don't have, shelter. So it's hard to shelter in place whenever you don't have a place to do that. So today, ShelterBox is leading the international COVID response in places like the Congo, in places like Syria, where there are tons of refugee camps where people can't socially distance themselves. So they have since started a COVID-19 emergency appeal. And in conjunction with that, I am currently doing what is called the 14ers Project. So my fundraiser is raising money directly for the COVID-19 Emergency Appeal Fund. So essentially what I'm doing, I figured, since I thought it was kind of fitting that I should go, as we as a global community are kind of coming together to overcome this metaphorical mountain, I should go out and find a couple of physical mountains to climb as well to help raise awareness and funds for ShelterBox. So what I am doing, it's called the 14ers Project. I am going to summit all 58 of Colorado's 14ers with the ShelterBox on my back, as you can see in this photo. So I'm currently kind of spreading the word about this project. And the official start date is going to be July 18th. And I will be hiking from July to basically October. And I'm currently looking for support and and support can be anything, whether it doesn't have to be funds, looking for just connections and help along the way. And also just for you to share my story. A little bit about me. So I'm not actually from Colorado. I am originally from Kentucky. I graduated from the University of Kentucky about 5 years ago, studying nonprofit administration. And after graduation, I moved abroad and have been working abroad for the past 5 years for a variety of NGOs in nearly every corner of the world. And just returned to the US this past year to begin my master's at the University of Denver, where I'm studying humanitarian assistance. So whenever I moved to Denver, that's when I started working with ShelterBox. I became an ambassador. I met Dave. I believe you guys are familiar with Dave Adder. He's given a couple of presentations, yeah, and kind of became inducted into ShelterBox. And whenever you work with ShelterBox, you can't help but get involved with Rotary. And that was my real introduction to Rotary as well. And over the past year, it's been, just as having moved so much in my life, one of the hardest things is always to become involved in a community and getting to meet all these different Rotary clubs and see all the initiatives that you guys support and the roles that you play in your community. It's been so inspiring and has really made me feel welcome in Colorado. Also, in terms of my background, I'm always looking for creative ways to kind of combine my passion with the outdoors for my love for service. So over the past few years, I hiked the entire Appalachian Trail raising money for mental health. Last summer I did a cross-country cycling trip with a team, raising over $56,000 for homelessness in the US for basically like affordable housing NGOs. And now that I'm in one of the biggest draws to come to DU was obviously because of the incredible outdoor scene that Colorado has. So looking for an opportunity to get out into the Rockies and to get climbing. And then whenever COVID-19 happened, I think I even heard some of you speak about it. We have to be a little bit creative with how we are involved in our communities and how we serve our communities these days, because social distancing and just distancing guidelines are really kind of forcing us, to be creative with how we can continue to interact with our communities and serve those in need. But that doesn't mean that the need is disappearing. In fact, I think it's only growing. And so looking for a way that I can continue to support my community, be involved in the community safely, but also while making an impact. As for my own personal Rotary journey, obviously just being involved with ShelterBox, I have a lot of experience talking to different Rotary clubs, but this past weekend, I also just submitted my application to be a Rotary Peace Fellow. So I'm currently a candidate for that, so fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm being represented by District 5450, so thank you guys for that as well. And a lot of people have had questions. I have a website for this entire project. I have a tentative summit schedule. I know that some of you said some of your travel plans were canceled. If you want to come out and join me for a hike, I am welcoming anyone to come out and climb a bit with me. I would love the company. And yeah, I feel like in the past I've just opened it up to questions, so I am open to hearing what you guys think. There are any questions? This is actually a photo from a couple weekends ago. I climbed up Mount Shavano with the box, so 114er down with the box. It was a beautiful day. Yeah.
I have a question.
Go for it, Tyler. Yeah.
Do you have like an Instagram handle that I can share so I can help get your story out there?
Yeah, so specifically for the 14ers project, I don't have an Instagram handle, but I do have a Facebook page for the 14ers, and I'll share both the link. I'll do that right now. I'll share the link for the Facebook page, which is not very active right now. That's going to become more active once the project gets going. But I think that the link to the actual project website might be the best thing to share.
Cool.
And I'll do that right now. Thanks, Tyler.
So you said you're looking for support. Are you looking for company?
Yes, so definitely. Okay. I would love it if anyone would be willing to go out camp with me or hike up any of these mountains. That is always, welcome. Also, some of these, go for it, sorry.
No, I looked at your schedule. It's pretty ambitious. I may be able to join you down in the Saguache the first week of August. I'll be in touch.
Okay, yeah, please do.
Yeah,
also,
be careful what you wish for, because some of us might take you up on the offer.
You'll just have to go at my pace. Also, so one of my goal, I guess I didn't tell you guys, my fundraising goal is to raise $1,400 per mountain for a total of nearly $82,000, all for ShelterBox and all for the COVID-19 Relief Fund. So while that doesn't have to be a $1,400 donation, I am giving kind of special media opportunities for any group that does wish to make a $1,400 donation. And so within the ShelterBox realm, and I know that Rotary and ShelterBox have a very close relationship, so they offer certain challenges. One of them is called the Hero Challenge. So I don't know how familiar you all are with that, but within ShelterBox, if a Rotary Club gives $1,000, they're listed as a gold hero, or a bronze hero. If you give $2,000, it becomes a silver. And right in between there, we're now offering what's called a mountain hero. So if you donate $1,400, not only will you get to choose your mountain and sponsor that mountain and be listed on the webpage, but I'll take something special up for you guys and take a photo on that mountain, whether it be your Rotary Club banner, I could take some ducks up and take some photos with the little ducks on top of the world, you know. So also I noted, yeah, your duck derby is August 23rd. I would love to come that day and help support you guys with the duck derby in any way I can. Bring the box backpack and yeah, get to meet you guys in person.
Brittany, what does your ShelterBox pack weigh?
You're the second person to ask me this, and I promised I would weigh it. So fortunately, having done a couple of through hikes in my life, I am used to like carrying weight, and this is nothing compared to like the pack I had on the Appalachian Trail, for example. So it is a 60-liter box. So it's quite bulky, as you can see in the photo. But as far as weight, it's not that heavy, and I'm not carrying anything inside beyond layers and food. And then I have like a Camelback water system. So the water is actually the heaviest part, not the backpack. But it's just mounted on a metal like military frame, and the heaviest part is probably actually the frame.
I think it's a great project, and we've been longtime supporter of ShelterBox, and look forward to hearing more from you and be in touch to see how we can help.